Claude Design generates websites, landing pages, and interfaces from natural language prompts. No prior design experience is required. The threat is real. Now, these are just a few lines out of a blog post, and of course, there's a whole lot more context inside of the article, but this is an example of the messaging that we are getting when it comes to AI and web design and development. It's a messaging that's misleading and fear-based, and it is nothing new. In fact, I remember when I started my web design journey a decade ago, we had the same thing happening back then. I remember every other video on YouTube had a Wix ad that would say anybody could build a professional website in minutes. And I remember how I felt when I saw this. I began questioning, am I in the right line of work? Is it worth it building these skills and learning this skill of web design and development? Or in a couple of years, will I not have a job if anybody could do it? But then I figured out it was just marketing hype, because I stuck with web design and development, and our industry has flourished this last decade. And in fact, it continues to grow. It is not going away. It is not declining. It's the complete opposite. The truth, anyone can spin up a website, whether it is a Wix or WordPress template or something on AI using something like Lovable, Replit, Bolt, Claude, Codex, and a number of AI platforms that are out there. The lie is that no web design or development experience is needed. And that has been a lie that has been told since I began web design. And to show why, we're going to build a website inside of Claude Design from your average non-technical Joe's perspective. We'll use Claude Design as an example, and I have already created a design system for this video. We just made up a business, Harvest Lane. And to come up with the design system, I basically gave a website and a screenshot, told it create a design system out of this. We're going to move forward because that takes about 10 to 15 minutes right there, and it really is just coming up with the design styles and tokens and colors and so on. But what we're going to do here is create a website. So let's do that. I am going to choose that design system, which is Harvest Lane. Let's go and create. And we're going to add a screenshot and the website that we want to use for our example. And I did basically what your average business owner that wants to build their own website would do. I went and found a website that I thought looks good, that we want to replicate. So I took a screenshot of the whole page, grabbed the link, created a prompt, and here is my prompt. Using real human language, I want to create a website for my small business, telling it about the business, what pages to create, the look and style that we want to use, and then we are attaching the URL to our example website that we want to emulate, and then also attaching a screenshot. This is how an average person who really isn't that technical, doesn't know how to use technical terminology, would use something like this. We are going to create the website now. And to start off, it came up with a whole bunch of questions. What's the name of the business? Description, the story, what do we sell? So I'm going to go ahead and fill all of this out and continue. And this, again, this is like the journey that your average user would follow when they want to build their own website. Let's go ahead and continue. And it just finished. It took about 15 minutes. And honestly, it's not bad. In fact, it is pretty usable. And I think a lot of people who are starting off building their own website would find this very usable and be very happy with it. The thing is, this is just the beginning. It's the first step. And this is what I call the slop stage. Now, slop doesn't mean it's bad. It means that it's just a generic layout. And it's just like templates. For an example, you could go over to Framer. We got templates here, and that's where this template came from. And this is like your slop stage, your beginning stage. The generic stage, of course, Framer has highly talented designers, so you're going to get something that's way more polished in here. But if we were to go something like Vondo, where we have a lot of these WordPress templates here, here is one template that stood out. And when we look at the live template, this is something that you could click up in just one click. Probably maybe even get it up a little bit quicker than you would with AI, and you would have things like working contact forms where you won't have to go through all the technical setups. That's another discussion, but the whole point of it is we could get this, this basically clean layout for a start, but it's just the start. And this is where the designers are needed. Now, a client or an average person could get to this point. No problem. That actually was quite easy. But what about making changes? Because if we were to go around, let's take a look. We could already see some issues. Now, the issues that I see here are coming from my design experience. It's what I call a design eye, being able to see things. And being able to see things like the spacing issue going on in between this pill shape, or seeing these, what looks to be tabs to be off balanced and not clickable. These are the things that takes experience to be able to see. Now also to articulate it. How do we go in and articulate to Claude? We need to fix this. We need to change the spacing. We need to make these clickable. We need to decide, are these actually going to be filters? What is the point of all this? Right now, this looks really, really weird. The average person would go in, and we do have this option right here to edit, and I could go and click right on here. And this is pretty dope. I mean, this is cool. It has come a long ways. We could come in and actually start to change it in here, but this is where the client is probably going to get lost. This is where they're going to start to mess things up. As soon as they start making edits, they're making them without design experience. And if we were going to prompt it, let's say I am going to capture this. Let's go ahead and put it into Claude. Hey, can you fix this up? It looks pretty weird. I don't know. Something looks off about it. Are these supposed to be clickable? What is the point of this? The spacing and all this just looks weird. Okay, that's probably what a normal person would say. I also would say something like that. But see, I could get more technical because of web design and development experience. With experience, we could go in and think, okay, do we want padding on the top, on the bottom? I probably would reduce it here on the bottom, making it, probably the same spacing as in between my grids here. And then of course we got these issues where this text is overlaying. So, one difference between having something come out with AI is that you are going to have these errors that come up versus where you are going to be using a pre-built template, because this template had an actual human that went through it, a designer that took time and actually fixed things up. And then let's take a look at mobile. So here we are going to see that things are mobilely responsive, most likely because a designer made it mobilely responsive. But if we were to go into our design here, well, this is where we really see the issues and where I could see clients having a lot of problems. It almost always never is fully mobile responsive. So imagine your average Joe trying to describe to Claude how to make this mobile responsive. Now, I know how to articulate this, and if you have experience in web design and development, you also are going to know. You're going to be able to say, hey, let's go ahead and make our breakpoints at this. Let's go ahead and put the image up here. Let's put this down here. Let's make our spacing like this. And we could even go as far as jumping into our inspect element, taking a look at what the CSS, what we are working with, and we could get more descriptive. And in fact, I have built websites with Claude Design. I went through one. It took me about a couple of days of just really getting in there, getting granular with it, finding all those little tiny details, then fixing Claude's mistakes, updating my rules inside of my Claude MD file in order to get to something that looked professional and polished and not like generic slop. And these are things that takes years of experience and skill building in order to really create something that is going to be professional. Now, an average small business might not need something highly professional, but they easily could start off with something that looks quite decent, like a good start. But as soon as they start to make changes, things start to fall apart. They start to go wrong. How do you articulate it when something just looks off? My purpose behind this video is to let you know the fear-based stuff that's out there, it's always been there. And as soon as we could recognize it and see it for what it is, just filter that nonsense out, it is so much easier to see that we have a huge advantage. Us who have been building websites for years already, who have experience, we have a massive advantage right now because we have these tools and we are the ones who are able to utilize them best. We won't have that advantage for long. So we need to take that advantage while we still have it. And for anybody new to web design and development, I believe it is very important and critical that we still need to learn the fundamentals. We still need to learn how to build skills. We still need to learn how to build experience, work with real clients, work on real projects, learn and understand HTML and CSS at least, understand design, study it, not to let AI do all of it, because our goal should be to create value and not slop. Well, I hope you found value in this, and again, put your thoughts in the comments. If you did find value, definitely do that good YouTube stuff. You know the deal. Like and subscribe, and I'll be back with another one. Thank you for watching.